Welcome to No Gimmicks. It has been over a month since we recorded. Holy shit. What has been going on, my dude?
Uh, so in a nutshell, I realize that I'm not the world's smartest man. I know, shocking. But the giant shit fan has been placed in front of me and just proceeded to shred shit all over me. And I finally found a way to step aside of it and turn it off so I could finally sit down and not just be covered in shit for the first time in about a month. Now, I feel like you're kind of in the same boat, aren't you?
Yeah, the thing about it is life happens, and, it unfortunately kind of got in the way. But let's start off with our introductions. I'm Brady. That's JT. Our man still over here. He's got a message that says, finally, we've come back. And
Finally. Yeah.
No Gimmicks is going to be live every single week. And I cannot wait, dude. It has been just, like I said, and you said, shit show. Life happens. But hey, man, we're here.
Yeah.
The last time we got together was SmackDown in Fort Worth. That was a fucking blast. Not going to lie. And
I'm a celebrity.
yeah. Hadn't really got much talking in since, but we're here, dude. So
Yeah.
finally, this is again just for our live TikTok followers. If y'all are here with us, this is No Gimmicks, and you need to go and follow us on TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook. There's all the links, and I'm gonna plug that several times, so don't worry.
Yeah. Can your fine TikTok viewers see me? Can you see me in the TikTok world?
Yeah, everybody can see.
Oh, good. That's for Brady.
Over here. Yeah. Oh, okay. Thanks. That's for
Make sure it works.
Yeah.
Oh, we're coming. I'm not saying I'm coming in hot, but I got a month worth of fuck you stored up just for you, buddy. Just for you.
Wait. I cannot wait to hear it. So after WrestleMania, I kind of hit a burner. Like I'm burned out. I think that after Mania, I was high. Monday Night Raw. I mean, it was awesome. That was a great show. And then we went to SmackDown, and I'm like, oh, okay. SmackDown was great. I think because we were there, and just like y'all have talked about before, I've been to a lot of wrestling events that honestly sucked on TV, but because I was there, I had that feeling that, man, this was an awesome show until I went back and rewatched it. I'm like, man, yeah, that kind of sucked. Like, I'm sorry I bought tickets to that. But do we have people watching? Let's
Probably.
see.
So
I don't know.
Here's the thing about it. It fucking wrestling's like a drug, right? WrestleMania, right in the arm, and you're psyched. And then we go back to regular weekly episodic television. We get the Raw after Mania, the SmackDown after Mania, but then it's like you're coming down from that high. And that is nobody's fault. And that should be a testament. Like, no matter how much complaining we did about DJ not being there or being there, no matter how happy we were with John Cena, not fucking happy about John Cena getting 17 and coming to ruin wrestling. That's a testament to how well it actually went. I think a lot of the times, even whether it's the live versus on TV debate, or it's we just watched this and we're in shock and awe. Like you said, when you go back and watch it, you really get a feel for how it actually was. And looking back now, we all came out of WrestleMania with something to say. We all came out of the Raw after Mania, good, bad, or indifferent, with something to say. And then we found that groove again where it's like, how much are you playing on your phone during a 2.5 to 3 hour show? Even Saturday night's main event, which just happened last night in real time, I text you and you were living life to the fullest. And even then I caught myself like, okay, this is starting to drag. And then they turn around and announce another Saturday night's main event with Evolution and all that in Atlanta. And I'm like, yeah, let's go. And so
yeah, we were out doing some things last night, and actually Papa Gimmicks was here.
And I didn't get a call.
once we finally got back to the house, we turned Saturday main event on. The show had already concluded, but we watched the whole thing. We didn't get done until almost 1 a.m. this morning, and I mean, it was a decent show. I mean, it was fine for what it was. I just, I
The
was like, man,
biggest thing coming out of Saturday night's main event is fucking Bronson Reed, though.
I don't know. I didn't really like. Okay, I think
Well, there's something bigger that happened last night. John
Cody,
Cena
bro.
beating R-Truth.
Cody showed up. Like,
Oh,
finally.
here we go. You're already changing your fucking mind. Oh, Cody doesn't need to come back. He needs to take a lot of time off. Oh, you fucking traitor.
He took plenty of time off. All right. He took WrestleMania is 6-8 weeks away. Or we've gone 6 weeks, 8 weeks since WrestleMania. Dude.
And he's coming back for a tag match.
And that's fine. I don't care. And I've actually talked to Roach about this. Talked to you about this. The thing is without Cody, without Roman, dude, it's hard to like. It's honestly kind of hard to watch a little. So
I agree with that. It's not that it's hard to watch. It's just we're coming off that high. Now that we're getting ready to step up, drawing into SummerSlam, because that's where this is going. Like we're gonna hit the next PLE, and then it's gonna start rolling to SummerSlam. Again, I am happy that Cody's back. But again, when I say the biggest thing coming out of it was Bronson Reed, it's like, okay, well, now what the hell is Seth Rollins and Paul Heyman going to do with these two powerhouses?
I mean, the same thing that they've been doing week after week after week. I mean, they're just running through Punk every single fucking week, dude. Like,
Glorious.
That's at the end of it. I think Punk's gonna end up standing tall. That's just the way wrestling go.
Sure. But how long? Because again, it's like Seth. To me, Seth already went for the title shot, so I don't know that we'll see him back in that slot until. And again, now we got Jay and Cody going against Cena. Excuse me. So to me, I think we're locked in with Jey Uso probably until about SummerSlam.
Which is perfect. I mean, it's fine. I didn't want Logan Paul to win the fucking belt last night, bro.
You didn't want Jey Uso to have that motherfucker either. You or Roach. Haters.
I don't think that Jey Uso is still the guy. I really don't. But it's better seeing 15,000 people in the crowd yeeting than it is having Gunther come out with that World Heavyweight title and it being dead. So, and then also tell me that you would rather have Logan Paul or Jey Uso as your champion. And I'm going to go Jey all day, every day, because fuck Logan Paul, dude. I cannot stand that guy. And eventually the problem with it is he's eventually going to get the title. Like, no ifs, ands, or buts. He's going to get either the Undisputed or the WHC. It's going to happen before the end of his term run. We've seen worse happen, dude. We've seen David Arquette be the
I was a WWF kid. Don't you say that. I was a WWF kid. Goddamn Eric Bischoff and Vince Russo.
Yeah. Anyway, I can tell you one thing that I have been super excited for, and that is the return of Alexa Bliss. So stoked that she's finally back. So, I think the build between her and Charlotte's going to be awesome, and I think that that's going to be the SummerSlam match. And I like the fact that Alexa Bliss is out there being Alexa Bliss, not being Alexa Bliss leading the Wyatt Six. And we can actually say that now because the Wyatt Six showed up on Friday night.
Yes. And that's what I was going to hint at. And if I seem distracted, sorry, they're doing the memorial, the moment of silence for the Coca-Cola 600 tonight. So sorry, NASCAR. Dumb redneck shit. But yeah. So I was going to mention that. It's the Wyatt Six is back. Alexa's there. With everything that's happened, do we see that link up happening?
I mean, and that's very possible. I mean, honestly, the Wyatt Six needs Alexa Bliss as their leader to be successful. They really do. They came out last night with the big pop, or not last night, Friday night with the big pop because it was the tribute to Bray. I get it, but tell me 3 to 4 months ago when the Wyatt Six were here, dude, nothing that they were doing were making sense. It fell flat. I mean, almost immediately. I might be wrong. I think people like the Wyatt Six, but it has to have a direction, and the direction that they had before was non-existent because they had no true leader.
So I'm of the belief right now that the shock and awe of the appearance of the Wyatt Six, right? Like, not just this comeback, but when the lights go out randomly in a match, when the Uncle Howdy entrance does happen, that is what makes them high. The second that you announce a match with them, everyone doesn't care, right? They are that wild card that shows up. And I don't think there is a great amount, and I'm saying this with a grain of salt because obviously they're doing better because I'm sitting here talking to my best friend on a podcast about it. But I don't think there's enough in-ring ability for that group to be successful in a straight storyline. There has to be something like the fact, example, when they were fucking with the Miz, when they were just running around behind him, right, just popping up. That's what we tuned in to see. And then the minute they got in the match, we're just like, meh.
Yeah.
And that's what Alexa would bring to that group.
Well, she's a mouthpiece, for one. She is one of the best talkers, regardless, in WWE right now. It's like she is. I mean, regardless, she's got the mouth and she knows how to use it. That's the thing about Alexa. Her in-ring ability, she's okay. Do I think she's the best? No. Do I think that she can carry herself? Yes. Do I
think she's a believable champion, though?
Right. Because she knows how to talk.
Well, no, I mean, you can't deny that her in-ring ability still isn't above a majority of the rest of the women's division. I mean, that's now again, the women's division, when we've been talking about this, they're coming along, but you put Alexa and Nia back in the ring, I got some belief that Alexa could come out on top.
Yeah. I think that Alexa is better than the majority of what we have right now. But
I think Alexa's better than all the mid-card title holders.
100%. That's what I mean. What we have right now. But let's talk 3 years ago. Alexa was probably 10th in line, in my opinion. So behind
a little bit of a hot take. I mean, maybe. Charlotte, Becky, Ronda.
Bayley.
I'll put Bayley and Alexa on the same level.
Oh, I don't know about that. I think Bayley's in-ring work is better and more crisp than Alexa's is. But regardless, Alexa's great. Overall performance is great, and she's doing great things. I will tell you this, that...
Wait a minute. I know I'm fucking you all up. Are you getting your Lily doll or what? It's almost June.
I have not received it yet, but I have noticed people... Mine says delivery was like June 6th. People have started receiving theirs.
Okay.
And they are garbage. They are not like the quality that described. So if you go and you look at the photo on WWE's website, like I'll post a link here when we're editing or a photo. Looking at that versus what people are getting, it says hand stitched buttons, everything. The buttons on her shirt are printed on. The teeth is just vinyl printed over her mouth. Like the buttons in her eyes. Like, it's not like, come on, dude, come on. I have the original Lily doll. It is like a identical replica of what she was carrying around. That they're shipping right now, dude, no shot. That's hot garbage, dude. So,
it's a goddamn Chinese tariffs, I tell you.
I mean, honestly, it probably has something to do with tariffs. Who knows, man? But the thing with that, Alexa is on top of her game. I really do. She came back. It was hot at the Royal Rumble. Then she was fucking gone for 2 months after the Elimination Chamber. She came back, which why? Anyway, she came back, and I think now she's going to be part of all the storylines. And I'm actually going for Alexa at Money in the Bank. I hope she wins. So,
I can't say that I'd be mad at that. And I think if I said I'd be mad at that, I think everyone would be mad at me. Now, I'm here to tell you, though, us wrestling fans, bunch of fucking hypocrites once again, and I'm calling all of us out. We all got pissed that Charlotte came back and was at the top, that Charlotte automatically got opportunities. Alexa's done the same shit and squandered every one of them.
yeah, but I guess here's the difference between Charlotte and Alexa.
You're a hater.
No. Every single time Charlotte has gone, every single time she comes back and immediately gets put in the title picture. Every single time. Also, Charlotte had no business at WrestleMania 35. No business in that match, but she did get thrown in it. You don't see that from Alexa.
Rhea Ripley had no business being in it this year.
She didn't, 100%. I think the match would have been just fine without her. But at the end of the day, that match turned out to be one of the better matches on the card.
I did.
So, I mean, did they make the right call? Maybe.
Yeah.
But did she deserve it? No. But that's neither here nor there.
And you want to talk about the women's division? Fuck, man. Watching that fucking injury on Monday Night Raw. Fucking Zoe.
She's gonna be gone for a year, and here's my fear.
She ain't gonna. I hate to tell you, she ain't gonna make it. She's gonna be in the net. She's gonna be in the cuts in 9 months.
That's my fear, dude.
She's gonna take her ass to AEW or probably TNA. I say that, but she may have a chance, right? Like I think another big piece of news is with WWE acquiring Lucha.
AAA.
AAA and the Lucha. I think that I don't know that, and when I say acquire, right? Like I don't know how deep that blood runs, and I think that is going to be the next stomping ground, i.e., just like NXT. We're already seeing that with Worlds Collide, but I mean, stop releasing people and just sign them to a smaller contract. And if they want to walk. But I still think that between WWE, between WWE, NXT, and now AAA, and especially now that TNA is affiliating and coming in to the mix, that's going to be the place to go. And I think that's the business move that's happening. It's not that AEW is a competition for WWE, but WWE is like, okay, all of you want to run your mouth, so let's go ahead and let me show you what we can do as an organization. You talk about elevating the wrestling community, sit back and watch this. Hold my beer.
Yeah. I think one of the biggest shocks to me with the releases was Braun Strowman and Dakota Kai. I was like, what the fuck? Dakota Kai was on TV like the week before, and
Braun Strowman's about to do a whole ass series.
Yeah, it's like I don't know.
Blessed off by WWE, like endorsed by WWE.
Yeah.
Stupid.
And then we're fixing to get this whole Unreal thing on Netflix.
I fear for that.
I'm going to watch it just because I like watching documentary style shows. But like we need to take it back to where people, including myself, because I'm the world's worst. Like if a show's live on air, like I can't sit and wait for it to record so I can go and watch it later. I have to be on the internet seeing the results. And you know what? The product of that is people like me who will then never go watch that show. And that sucks. I want to be able to go and watch. Like I stayed off the internet last night because I was out doing stuff with my family. So I was able to go and watch Saturday Night Main Event, and I knew at the end of it that Cody was going to return because I was just scrolling through Facebook and I saw Cody. And I'm like, well, fuck. And then I got off real quick. And then you told me that Bronson Reed showed back up, and I'm like, okay, that's cool. But as soon as you told me Bronson Reed showed up, I'm like, well, Punk's fucked. And I was right. I mean, you know, I want to go back TCL, a phone manufacturer, actually just launched a new phone. It's a flip phone that has 5G, and I'm like, God damn it, dude. Just think if I went and used one of those for a minute. Tell me that I couldn't go and look at wrestling spoilers all fucking day long while I'm working. I'd be a happy camper to turn Monday Night Raw on an hour late because I know that I haven't actually seen anything. And
So as someone who has lived that life, because I was at a point in my life that I couldn't watch Monday Night Raw live. I had to watch the hour and a half version on Hulu. This was back in 2016 time frame.
Yeah.
So I can tell you that it was hard for me at first, but I adapted to it because again, there was still something about it, right? Like I spun it in such a way that instead of reading about it, now again, when there were big returns and things happening, you couldn't avoid it. But like there was something peaceful about getting off of work on a Tuesday, walking straight into the house, watching Monday Night Raw, eating dinner after Monday Night Raw, taking a shower, and going the fuck to bed.
Yeah.
And I'm actually to that point. I'm getting ready to experience that almost again because again, peek behind the curtain, relocating, going to the West Coast. So it's like Raw on Netflix is going to come on at 4 in the afternoon.
Sorry, guys. Hang on. I'm trying to adjust this iPhone. I kind of got a thing that said, hey, I was flipped around. So trying to adjust a little bit. I think we're good.
Yeah.
Anyway.
But yeah,
just
so coming back, and it's like I can come home from work and just turn on Monday Night Raw, watch it, and still go to bed at a decent hour. It's
Right.
not bad when you can adapt to doing that.
Yeah. No, I get it. The fucking internet, dude. I want to go. Okay, like let's just talk about this. I want to go back.
Met anyone who has such a love-hate relationship with the internet more than you.
You know that I fucking hate the internet.
You're a fucking liar.
I'm not the liar. No, I'm not a liar.
You deleted your ex like 8 times.
Yeah, and then I get pissed off because I've missed something, and I go and look at it, and then I get stuck in a goddamn political rant, and then I fucking delete that shit because someone pissed me off, and then I'll go. It's just a never-ending cycle.
Still blocked by Jim Cornette, by the way.
Oh, dude, I've been fucking blocked by Jim. I've been blocked by fucking KO. I'm blocked by Nia Jax. I'm blocked by Chris is actually blocked by fucking Dave Meltzer.
Oh, that's not saying.
It's like fucking, it's wild. I don't know, but anyway.
But yeah, back to the point here. It's, and I'll tell you, and we've talked about this before too, right? Like, as much as we would love to make this podcast all inclusive of every bit of wrestling that's happening in the world, man, we regular people. We got lives.
Yeah, there's no shot. Like, I think around July, I'm going to the AEW because it's the All In or whatever you want to call it, because it's at Ranger Stadium. Like, it's literally a 45-minute drive for me.
I'd
So
save
of
my
course I'm
money.
gonna go. You would save $35 not to go to that. I mean, come on.
That's beer money, bro.
It's going to be a fun wrestling event. There's nothing different than me spending $18 and going to some indie show or midget wrestling or
Hey. Don't be a hater. Don't be a hater.
I'm not being a hater. I'm just saying, like, if I'm gonna go to an indie show and spend $20 to get in, then why wouldn't I spend 35 and go see AEW and see fucking Monet and John Moxley? Maybe he'll fucking puncture
John Ambrose.
Screwdriver. Who knows? Yeah, John Ambrose. Who knows? Like, you don't know what's gonna happen.
Hold on, I got to get another beverage. I'm quite thirsty. Ignore me reaching into my championship belt, pulling out another beverage.
Oh God! Broken Skull brought to you by JT with no gimmicks. Shit.
Igloo, sponsor us. Jack Daniels, sponsor us.
I'm going to go ahead and say that's a badass hat. I love that Broken Skull Ranch hat. I don't know if Stone Cold has ever seen us. Doubt it. But hey, dude, he bought your hat. We buy all the American lager we can find, IPA. If
And I'm
what's on
going to
the
be
shelf,
living 2.5 hours from El Segundo. I'm buying them out.
you're buying them out, and you know what you're going to do? You're going to put them in a discreet package, and you're going to mail them to my house.
Bro, just when you come out to visit for Survivor Series, just bring an extra check bag and we're going to load you up.
Can you check beer at the airport?
Only one way to find out.
Yeah, I don't think. Yeah, I mean, I don't know why we couldn't. I'll just bring a whole nother bag, and it's probably going to weigh 150 pounds because it's going to be stock full of fucking beer. And
America.
and we're going to go to El Segundo, and we're going to be there live and in living color.
And fucking Stone Cold's going to come. He's just going to happen to be in town.
Yeah, and we're going to drink a Steve Weiser with him, and that's going to be fucking fantastic. So we've done that once. Not specifically with him, but we have been holding his beer in his photo. So
I mean, I was standing. He was drinking. I was drinking. We were drinking together.
Yeah. Anyway, TikTok again. Follow us on No Gimmicks. I know that you guys are watching the live on my personal, but we are working on getting our TikTok live up and running.
We need another 900 of you.
900 followers. Go follow us. And again,
for
it's
1,000 total.
Gimmicks,
For those of you drunk man.
Gimmicks. Go check us out. We anyway, going forward, dude, what do you think about Becky Lynch fucking putting some people over? How do you feel about that?
I'm happy to have her back. She brings a certain element, a certain je ne sais quoi back to the product, right? Do I need Becky Lynch putting people over? No, because I think Becky Lynch has earned her right to whoop some ass. Do I need her to immediately go after a title? No. Would I be mad about it? Maybe, but because again, I think we need her, like we talked about, to bring some prestige to these mid-card titles. I would love nothing more for her to win an Intercontinental title and then try and invade SmackDown and be like, nope, I'm unifying the titles because all of you suck. And then now the entire roster is gunning to stop that from happening. Almost a female version of what John Cena's doing right now, if you will.
And you know what that's going to do? That's going to print fucking money. So, yeah.
Fuck, man.
Goddamn, get me on a rant about John Cena again. Let's all fucking get together and go beat up John Cena.
Bro, I need another AJ Styles feud. My favorite thing to do, beat up John Cena.
Yeah, dude. I'm tired of this fucking garbage, man. Like, straight up, we're going to have to, or sorry, we're not going to have to. We're going to all want a redo of John Cena's retirement tour. Like, straight up, this has not been what the people needed or wanted.
You know,
in my opinion, and you can say what you want, but John Cena and this retirement tour has been hot garbage. Like, when we were at SmackDown, I'm stoked that we got to see John Cena live and in living color there in person at SmackDown.
But, well, that's because you thought that was going to be the last time you got to see him. But we'll see him at fucking Survivor Series.
Yeah, we will. But, again, tell me, dude, that you're not just even a smidgen disappointed in what's going on.
I can't tell you that I'm a smidgen disappointed because we got to see Ron Cena come out last Saturday night's main event.
Okay.
5 moves of doom.
Yeah.
I can't even be mad at that. Ron Killings, R-Truth. He is a fucking national he is going to get in the Hall of Fame because whether anyone wants, and I will hang 10 toes on this and fight someone, he is the most consistent, entertaining superstar of the past 20 years.
100%. You can't, if you need someone to help break character, you fucking insert
60-time different champion in WWE.
He's, I think, the only one who had Brock Lesnar break character
on TV. Like, where was he when they were all trying to break Taker? This would have been so good.
Well, he was there. They just didn't use him.
He wasn't in this capacity, though, but, like,
yeah.
God, like, and the sad part is, I'm tuning in to see what he's got to say about losing his to his childhood hero. But he's on
On
the
Smack.
kick that that's not the real John Cena, which is twice as funny to me.
So going back to make an Undertaker break character, I actually came across a TikTok the other day, and it was Stone Cold, Vince, and all the WWF when it was versus the Alliance, and Vince was
Next,
yeah.
do that again, you'll pull back the nub. Yes, very familiar with that segment.
Dude, that shit, I sat there and watched it probably 3 times because I could not stop cracking up.
Like, I, so the thing, it's weird, right? Because when when he came back to fight KO, we got that late 90s, early 2000s Stone Cold. That the bionic redneck, the bad, the
Yep.
mean son of a bitch. But that dude was so fucking funny.
Yeah.
The shit he was doing with Kurt Angle, and like, my God.
Dude,
Like
whenever he was just raw GM or even
the
the
sheriff.
sheriff, dude, that was gold. I remember the majority of that, even more so than some of just the standard Monday Night Raw like matches and shit he had. Those times stand out to me more, just because of how entertaining it was.
It was so good. Like I don't know. Again, the problem is we've lived through the moment, so I don't know. Like not wishing it, but when WWE goes to do the Stone Cold memorial package at his unfortunate death, what are they going to show? You know what I mean? Like
That they're going to shut the show down, and that honestly, that's going to be a situation where they shut the show down.
it's just a giant memorial show.
It's going to be that way for Austin, Taker. I mean, there's going to be several like
Triple
Triple
H,
H.
The Rock.
Yeah, well, okay, I guess. That's
So that so you say that, but here's a fun thing that I was thinking about. And I should make this the off the top rope question, but I'm not because we're live and in the moment. With this last round of Hall of Fame inductions, i.e., Triple H, does The Rock belong in the Hall of Fame right now?
no, he doesn't.
Well, so with that being said, in what realm if you believe he doesn't belong in there now, why would he ever go in?
I think that Rock deserves the Hall of Fame, but I think Triple H is different, okay? And let me
Agreed.
explain. Triple H has never left the business. That's the biggest difference between Triple H and 99% of all the other wrestlers. Stone Cold left the business. Man, the Undertaker has left the business. And it's such a hear me out. Hear me out. He doesn't travel every single week, just like Triple H does. Like, I mean, there's things like the Undertaker fully deserves the Hall of Fame. He's already in it. But what I'm saying is there's a difference. The Rock, he's popped in and out of our lives for the last, fucking 15, 20 years since he stopped being a full-time performer. And the issue is everyone's so goddamn excited. And I still stand on the hill that I talked about 4 months ago. We don't need The Rock at WrestleMania. We did not need The Rock at WrestleMania, period. Did he fucking screw it all up at Elimination Chamber? Yes, he did. But what I'm getting at here is there's a difference between what Triple H has done for the business and does he deserve to be in the Hall of Fame now? Sure. Do I think it could have waited a year or two? Yeah, why not? But at the end of the day, The Rock needs to separate himself fully from the business entirely before he gets put in the Hall of Fame. He doesn't need to be the fucking Hall of Famer that lives on the board of directors. I just don't think that that's the right thing to do. But again, I'm not WWE. I have 1 share of WWE stock, 1 share. So I am a shareholder. But at the end of the day, I don't sit on the board. I don't make decisions. And I just think that he needs to separate himself fully from it and then come back almost humbled to be part of the Hall of Fame.
Well, so I mean, I don't disagree with any of those takes, but my thing about it is I just got to thinking about that because I'm also one of those people, right? Because I've been in a situation where I've had to give recommendations for awards and recognition. And one of the biggest things that drives me up the wall with when you do this stuff, and again, Hall of Fame's a bit different than just an award, but follow me on this mind track, right? So I've had people that I've said, hey, I want to reward or give this individual an award and recognize them for their contributions, whether it was for this long or for one thing that they've did. And I get told, no, 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 save that, put it in a little folder somewhere, and then we'll give them an award later. So you're telling me this doesn't recognize? No, it's not that they don't deserve it. It's just that let's put it somewhere else and make it bigger.
Right.
Well, then lo and behold, the time comes and that doesn't happen. They get the same level of award that they've gotten, that they would have gotten that I was recommending them for. So I'm like, what the hell? And when it comes to something like the Hall of Fame, there's nothing higher. So working off your mindset and logic, there is no reason that The Rock could not go in next year or 20 years from now because he's not going to do anything else significant in our minds. Sure, he could be part of storylines. He could, come in and win another title, or he could come in and do something stupendous. But my thing is if he doesn't deserve to go in now, then he never deserves to go in. And hot take, I don't think he deserves it at all. He was a major part of the Attitude Era, but I still believe in my heart and the Ruthless Aggression Era. And then he did his little stint where he came back and beat up CM Punk, in case you forgot.
Get fucked.
Yep, I have to. But my thing is like, I don't think that other than being a good ambassador for the product and bringing in more people, which is part of the game, putting those asses every 18 inches, he never did anything significant.
Wait, asses every 18 inches? Bruh, whenever we were front row, it was asses every 8 inches.
That's not true. My ass is wider than that. And that's the old saying. But again, right? Like, I'm not knocking him. I'm not hating on him. But without a Rock, there's still a Stone Cold. Without a Stone Cold, there's not a Rock.
Okay.
Without a John Cena.
Hey, hang on. I'm gonna tap the brakes just for 5 seconds, and we're gonna come back to this because I have words. But my beer's empty.
Oh,
so I'm gonna
man!
Go grab a beer, and
you gotta get you a cooler.
I know. That's on the shopping list. Give me 30 seconds. Entertain our crowd.
Oh my God!
Seconds. I'll be right back.
So, as my illustrious co-host has always said, hey, thanks for all of you for tuning in. Obviously, if you found this, you've obviously found our YouTube. But hey, we're on TikTok. Brady's going live on his personal TikTok. We're going to try and boost this thing up. We're also on Facebook and Instagram. We've been some slackers, but like I said, it's been the busy part of the year for us. So we're going to get back on it. But we do appreciate all of you out there who've come along on this journey. Excuse me. And we still enjoy it. We may fight and argue, but that's my brother. Oh, he's coming back. I can't talk good about him. But yeah, so make sure to follow us on all of our socials and stay tuned because I think this is only going to get better. All right. Soothe our fucking ear holes with your wise words, modern day Shakespeare.
There's no Stone Cold Steve Austin without The Rock.
Wrong.
Okay. What? That's what you just said.
There's no Rock without Stone Cold Steve Austin. There's still a Stone Cold.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
There may be a Rock, but The Rock was not relevant enough to where if he was erased from Stone Cold's history, that Stone Cold still wouldn't have did Stone Cold things. Fully respect the fact that Steve picked The Rock to retire him. They've main evented 3 WrestleManias, but I still think we could have had a Stone Cold without a Rock.
You could have had a Stone Cold without The Rock, but tell me this. What would you have done at WrestleMania 17? How would you have had such a large event without those two? Like, at the end of the day, if those two didn't exist at the very exact same time, if we were not all walking the planet and those two did not collide at WrestleMania 17 would have been a fucking bust. The end of it, so 100%. 100% it would. What else would you have done?
Triple
Kurt
H.
Angle? Oh, no. See, you had Triple H that year versus The Undertaker.
Okay, so then give me Steve versus Taker.
And then Steve would have lost.
Ooh, so there's a fucking hot take. Would he?
Yes, absolutely. Because
I don't know about that.
Started the streak at that point.
That's when they realized it.
That's the 10th win. So if you think about that,
that's not a guarantee with how hot Austin was.
I don't know, bro. I don't know. I don't think that WrestleMania.
I'm not saying that they didn't hit perfect moments. I'm just saying that without Stone Cold didn't need The Rock at any point in his career other than his retirement match. And even then, if you'd have removed him from the rest of history, he wouldn't have needed that.
Then who would he have retired with?
Whoever he made music with. Because that's the thing.
Nobody, dude, okay.
Okay, so hold on. Who else did The Rock make music with? Who else did The Rock create cinema with?
Well, there's several. He did, yes. Him and Triple H were fire. Whenever they went together, they fucking hit. Okay? The problem, though, was you had Stone Cold. The stakes were fucking, Stoke was fucking blazing hot in that fire, dude. And then The Rock was also blazing hot. And those were the only two that were going to make that show. Hands down. Like, you could not have... WrestleMania 17 would have existed. It would have. And the highlight of that night would have been TLC 2. Done. That would have been the fucking... not the main event, but the main event. Because then what would you have had for the WWF Championship? That's the thing. And you would not have had such a powerhouse fucking build. And even in Monday Night Raw after, if The Rock didn't exist. Like, that's Stone Cold, and I will die on this hill. Stone Cold needed The Rock as much as The Rock needed Stone Cold.
I will put a fucking shotgun to your face. That is false. That is terribly false. Because when The Rock left, Austin left, but Austin came back and still did GM and sheriff things, and we didn't have the fucking Rock.
But yeah, you're right. But it was a different role, and that's the thing is, like, even during the Invasion era, that whole thing that wasn't working until The Rock showed up. Straight up, like, that whole gimmick that they were doing did not fucking
The Rock
work.
and Triple H wasn't working until The Rock brought Austin back and blew up the DX Express.
Okay, again, that's what I'm saying. Like,
Steve did not need a fucking Rock. Period.
We are going to agree to disagree.
Yeah.
I think, hands down, if The Rock was non-existent, there was nobody as big in that time that could have carried Austin, and vice versa. Austin carry another individual.
Get out of town.
Through that year.
Get out of town.
Dude, and they had to have The Rock during the Invasion. Straight up, who was going to replace The Rock in the Team WWF thing? Like, they were failing hardcore. And then The Rock came back, and that's when because they had Austin turn heel at Mania. That was the whole problem.
I don't think that would have happened. I do not think that would have happened. I don't think we'd have got heel Austin to that point. And even if we did, I think it would have went another direction. I will, just like we didn't need The Rock at last WrestleMania or the WrestleMania before that because they killed the fucking story.
Okay, let me put it to you this way. Do I think, and this is relevant to this conversation, do I think that us having CM Punk back for the last 2 years has been fucking amazing? Yes. I think it's been fire. I love it. The fans love it. Everybody but JT and Chris fucking love it. Do I also believe that if Punk never showed back up, WWE would have been okay?
100%.
Yes. 100%. that is not the same situation in 2001 with The Rock and Stone Cold. If The Rock would have never shown back up for that match, it just would not have been the same, and I think the company would have gone in a completely different direction and not been nearly as successful at WrestleMania 17.
So I can't ride that train.
And that's okay. Like there's things that you say that I can't jump on, and things that I think that you can't jump. And
so
that's just what it
then
is.
I need you to retract your statement and say The Rock deserves the Hall of Fame next year.
No, he doesn't.
Then you can't stand on your own argument.
Yes, I can. Because Rock, the difference between Hall of Fame and what he did, Rock needs to separate himself from the WWE. He can't come in here being this fucking douchebag like he's been doing, and then fucking do the elimination.
Why? Paul Heyman does every week.
No. There's Paul Heyman is fucking Paul Heyman, dude. Paul Heyman is there every week. The Rock fucking comes in, interrupts a program, and then fucking jets and doesn't show back up. Come on. And that's not Triple H, dude. That's not booking. That's The Rock. Because he can insert himself whenever the fuck he wants. That's the difference. The Rock showed up.
If you listen to his words, he was contacted. He was contacted, wanted to put some fire under it.
I don't know. Here, The Rock does not need to be in the Hall of Fame right now. Straight up. 15 years, 20 years, I don't know. Maybe even 10 years down the line. Who knows? But he doesn't need the Hall of Fame. And until he separates himself from what he's been doing, then, nah. He's fine. Right. What is he going to come out and say? If it weren't for Vince, if it weren't for Austin, if it weren't for Triple H, I'd be nowhere where I am today. That's exactly what he would say.
So what's he going to say in 20 years?
The same fucking thing.
Then why does it have to wait? That's my base argument. Coming back, getting off your fucking bullshit train. Base argument is if he deserves it in 20 years, he deserves it today.
Well, and I can see your argument about what you said about recommending and all this, that, you know, if you're going to recommend something today and it's going to be the same award as he gets in 10 years. I mean, I get it. I get what you're saying. But I don't think that it's going to make that big of an impact even if he went into the Hall of Fame. I really don't. So Hall of Fame, it's just...
Well, we've talked about that too. The Hall of Fame's not real.
Well, there's no physical building.
Right.
And people keep saying that, like, Hall of Fame's not real, blah, blah, blah. The Hall of Fame is, in fact, real. There is a prestige that you get. Like, your legacy is being cemented into the WWE.
Yes.
If the WWE shut down today, yes. So the Hall of Fame doesn't mean dick. I get it. But at the end of the day, WWE is not going to shut down today or tomorrow or the next day. I think WWE is here forever, you know, at least through our lifetime.
Sure.
So
yeah, easy.
The Hall of Fame does mean something. And I think the Hall of Fame should be reserved for people like, hey, Triple H did deserve it. Dude, the motherfucker almost died. And then he went on and he's there every single week. We don't see him, but he's there. The Rock is just fucking stirring up the shit and pissing everybody off. He don't fucking need it. So.
You're out of your mind.
Yep. I think CM Punk deserves Hall of Fame before he does. And he can fucking have a pipe bomb.
See, now you're just trying to get a rise out of me.
James fucking Ellsworth, no chin, deserves Hall of Fame before The Rock does. Zach Gowen, no leg, deserves Hall of Fame before The Rock does.
You're just super fucking salty because The Rock didn't show up at WrestleMania.
Fuck The Rock, dude. And I said I didn't want The Rock to show up 3 months ago, before WrestleMania even happened. He came out fucking Elimination Chamber and then had John Cena kick Cody in the ball sack and then jetted. And he hadn't been back since. Why? And then John Cena's out here being a fucking cunt for no goddamn reason. No reason. Tell me I'm wrong.
His logic makes sense.
No, it does not.
How does it makes perfect sense? He hates us. He hates the wrestling fans. He's the last real champion and he's taking the title home with him. What's there hard to understand?
Why does he hate us though?
Because you literally just argued why The Rock should and shouldn't be in the Hall of Fame in the same fucking sentence.
Okay, but that doesn't matter. We still don't suck. We still buy his fucking merch. I still have John Cena's autograph, like 4 of them.
I have never bought any John Cena merch.
I have a child, my dude. And you know what? Children love John Cena. Well, they did. Not anymore. I want to get a t-shirt next time when we go to SummerSlam or Survivor Series. I'm going to say, fuck John Cena. And I'm going to have a piece of tape over it. That way they can't tell what it is. And whenever we get into the show, I'm going to rip it off. That way I don't get, fuck John Cena. He'll probably be a face by then.
Because he's doing his job. Yeah. Put this on the calendar so that way when John Cena goes in the Hall of Fame next year, we can talk about how excited you are. That can remind you that John Cena doesn't deserve it.
John Cena deserves the Hall of Fame.
Why?
Like,
he went away.
Do what?
He went away. And he came back and ruined shit.
No, so John Cena has a lot of accolades that The Rock doesn't. First off, Make-A-Wish, dude. Straight up, he deserves Hall of Fame just for that alone. Like, he's the most Make-A-Wish, and that's something that kind of tugs on my heartstrings a little bit. And John Cena, down deep, he's still making those things happen, even playing this heel character. We're all fucking pissed off at him right now, but at the end of the day, he's still a good
I'm just mad because he beat up R-Truth.
Yeah, real. Yeah. Anyway.
You're the reason why John Cena wants to ruin wrestling. You, motherfucker.
Why? You're the... I don't know. You're the Cornette of us two.
Yeah, so... according to the internet, I'm Corny Jr.
Yeah.
But Jim Cornette's done more for wrestling than fucking John Cena has.
Yeah, well, Jim Cornette was a fucking promoter and there was all kinds of shit that he did. John Cena just, rode on Vince's coattails, and he still talks about it. So I'm ready for all that shit to go away. The whole Vince and apparently Vince and Stephanie and Triple H aren't even talking.
I saw that.
And that's, I get it. I mean, Triple H and Stephanie voted against him on the board. I mean, that could piss anybody off. But, whenever you do the shit that Vince has done, it's like...
I thought we weren't going here.
We're not going there. I'm not saying what he did. I'm just saying when you do the shit that he has done, like, it's kind of hard to fucking take up for the dude. Like, and there's so many people out there that keep saying, they miss Vince McMahon. Well, you know what? You know what I say to you? If you miss Vince McMahon, fuck you, dude. Like, there's no reason to miss Vince. Zero. So...
Hey, all I'm saying is Vince McMahon wouldn't have pulled WrestleMania from New Orleans.
You are probably right.
Don't talk about that now.
We're not going to... Another reason The Rock should not go in the Hall of Fame. He goes out on national goddamn... It is his fault. He went out there and announced it. And with the fucking...
So if Cody Rhodes would have went out there and announced that it was in New Orleans, Cody Rhodes should be fired.
Yes, motherfucker should be Dunsky. Audi.
Tarred and feathered. Hung at fucking High Tree in the fucking state of Texas.
Go back to AEW, you clown. Like, that's... What are we doing? You can't tell me that WWE does just not do Noah dirty as fuck.
You just said that there's no reason to miss Vince, and I just pointed out that Vince McMahon would have not moved a live event like that without extreme reasons after it was already announced.
Dude, they announced it, and then they said, you know what, Vegas, they'd give us a little more Gitas, a little bit more clan. And
God damn.
Move the shit back to Vegas.
That's what sent you through the roof. I shit on The Rock. I've shit on fucking CM Punk, but them moving WrestleMania is what's going on.
Dude, I can be in fucking New Orleans so much faster than I can be in Vegas. And you know what? Fuck them. It takes me goddamn 27 fucking hours to drive to Vegas. You know how many hours it takes me to get to New Orleans? 7.5. I can be in New Orleans in 7.5 hours, and I can get the fucking nosebleed fucking seat and go to WrestleMania. we'll never probably get to go to WrestleMania again because they are outrageous on their prices because TKO and all of them. That's the other thing is they're fucking greedy sons of bitches. Every one of them. Every one of them, dude. So there's that. Tell me I'm wrong. WrestleMania is overpriced, and so is every other fucking event that they've put on. Unless you can go and get a ticket day of, like kind of like what you were lucked out and got, like it's almost impossible to go to a WWE event right now until they can figure out that they're pricing out their average fans, i.e., me. It's just it's becoming for the rich, and I'm going to be able to watch it on TV.
So, I haven't done the research, but it's hard for me trying to remain, neutral, because my thing is, look at the cost of Super Bowl tickets.
Yeah.
Look at the cost of World Series tickets.
Yep.
I mean, can we really fault WWE for doing what everyone else does?
The difference though between WWE and like the World Series is, or even the Super Bowl or anything like that, is WWE is a niche crowd, right? Like the what am I trying to say here? I've got it in my brain. WrestleMania is for wrestling fans, right? In my opinion, SummerSlam is for wrestling fans. Baseball, football, Super Bowls, that kind of thing. You have people that are not baseball fans year round go watch the World Series just because. And you can make that face all you want, but the thing is it's the same thing with like I said, football. People that are not football fans will pay and go to the Super Bowl just for the fact of being at the Super Bowl. WrestleMania is not that way, or it
Yeah,
used to
but
not
there's
be
a
that way
whole. But you also
because you
have to
have to
look
follow.
at WrestleMania is now a 2-night event, and there is probably, unless you are some kind of weirdo who just gets off on watching low card people, if you're a CM Punk, John Cena, Cody Rhodes, Roman Reigns, your guy, your superstar, Charlotte Flair, Ronda Rousey, Becky Lynch, your girl, your superstar is going to be there. There's people who buy World Series tickets and Super Bowl tickets pre-release in hopes their team makes it.
That's not how that works. So the World Series, like they don't sell their tickets until after they know the teams because they have to sell that specific stadium.
So then that negates your whole argument that it's a niche environment, because I would be willing to bet there are less Texas Ranger fans than there are WWE fans.
Well, I mean, yeah, you're right.
So you can't say it's WWE's niche. You can't say that.
But that no.
There's baseball fans who will go to the World Series because it's the World Series.
Right.
But most of the time, if the Atlanta Braves go to the World Series, I want to go to the World Series.
Yeah.
When the Atlanta Falcons or the Georgia Bulldogs, the Atlanta Falcons go to the Super Bowl, Georgia Bulldogs go to the National Championship, I want to go. But I don't want to go when it's the Rangers. I don't want to go when it's Alabama. I don't want to go when it's the fucking Saints. But I want to go to WrestleMania every year.
Because you're a wrestling fan. That's the difference. Like that you have that argument with Shane. For instance, I can't sit here and truly argue with you because I'm a wrestling fan and I want to be at WrestleMania every single year.
Sure.
Shane, on the other hand, for instance, he's a baseball, like diehard baseball fan. He wants to go to the the World Series every single year, regardless of what team it is, because he follows baseball.
Sure.
And that's that. I guess what I'm getting at though is wrestling is Shane's not going to be willing to pay what WrestleMania tickets are now, but comparative to what they were 5 years ago, Shane, never being a wrestling fan in his life, would pay that ticket to go to WrestleMania because he could. That's the difference.
That's my base. That was my base of this. Why are we mad at WWE for doing what everyone else is doing?
Oh, I didn't hear that. I didn't
Yeah.
hear that part of the argument.
That was my base. How can we as wrestling fans, WWE fans, get mad at WWE for doing what MLB, the NBA, the NCAA, the NFL, everyone else has been doing for years?
Well, I mean, you
They were
can't be mad
fooled
at
for
them.
not doing it sooner.
You can't be mad at them, I guess. But again, it prices out the average fan. So that's
It's
and it's not just WrestleMania though. That's the thing. It's like I can go to a Ranger game, Texas Ranger game, any given game for less than $40. Right? I can get a ticket to a Texas Ranger game for less than $40. I'm going to Chicago next month, and I'm going to be able to go see the Chicago White Sox, and it's going to cost me $10 to get in. Right? Like that's the difference.
how much is an
But
NXT ticket?
in NXT, well, they're non-existent because you can't fucking go unless you live in Florida. That's the thing. It's like whenever NXT traveled, we were able to go to NXT, and it
But
was like $30
but my
for us
point
to get.
behind that is they know for a fact the Rangers are going to play at Ranger Stadium a minimum of once a week. They know that the Atlanta Falcons at least twice a month are going to play at Mercedes-Benz. You never know where WWE is going to go. They don't own those stadiums. They have to
Yeah.
pay to go there. So, I
Well,
mean, that's a more unfair comparison than WrestleMania versus Super Bowl versus
well,
World Series versus College World Series versus College National Championship
well.
versus
It's even.
FIFA World Cup.
What about even just like standard concerts and shit? Like you
Those
think
are
about
expensive as
concerts,
fuck too.
they are. But I can remember a time even 5 years ago that wrestling, like I spent less money to go to WrestleMania than I spent on a Monday Night Raw ticket. You know what I mean? Like that's wild to me. Um,
But again, right? Like in all fairness, you account for 2 to 3% inflation over the past 5 years. Tickets need to go up. They have to go up. And then you can't deny that wrestling has only gotten bigger. So you expect them. I mean, that's like saying that's like mine and your dad coming on here talking about they used to pay $20 to go to see the wrestling matches. Well, no shit. Even Super Bowl tickets. Look at the cost of a Super Bowl ticket 10 years ago.
yeah. Well, I think
Again,
that
we cannot be happy with the price all we want, but at the end of the day, who's going to pay it? I know me and you will.
well, we're gonna pay it a few times, but like for instance, there's no shot that if WrestleMania, okay, let's just say this, if WrestleMania went to San Diego, that WrestleMania price is going to be $100 to $150 more for the exact same seat that you and I are going to have at Survivor Series. And at the end of the day, like regardless, I know it's just $100 to $150, but you're paying for that exact same seat at the exact same stadium to see a show, and it just makes it hard to go. Like people that went to Vegas this year for WrestleMania 41, most of them were saying it cost anywhere between $3,000 and $8,000 to go. That's fucking insane. Like, man, Nicole and I, we went to WrestleMania 35 in New York City, and our entire trip cost us $3,000, and that was with WrestleMania included, and Raw and SmackDown. You know what I mean? So there's
But
just a
I mean, I paid when we went to 38 and we sat one riser off the floor. You
yeah
know, those tickets were for both nights. I think we spent $2,800.
for just the show.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
And I mean,
I
that
mean,
was 38. I mean, we're
so where I don't know if you know where I originally was sitting,
Mhm.
but where we originally sit, I got 5 tickets for it was right at $1,000 for both nights. But then I actually won those floor seats, like right across the way from you. We can
Yeah.
throw a rock at each other. I won those tickets, and like, okay, I don't even know how much they actually cost. But at the end of the day, the year before that at WrestleMania 37, Nicole and I were on the floor, and we spent like $180 a piece. And that's just mind-boggling. So
I mean, that's again, and I think there's a lot of factors that go to it. Where they're at, what stadium it is, when you bought them, who's been announced. You know,
yeah,
I just, as much as I want to be mad, if you suck back and try to look at it from an outside perspective as a non-wrestling fan and as someone who goes to other events, I think that everyone else, i.e., these other sports, they've increased prices 1 to 5% steadily for the past 10 to 20 years, and WWE held off as long as they could. You can blame the TKO merger. You can blame Triple H, but they took instead of doing it 1 to 5% every year, they just did 30% right off the rip to make up for the past 20 years.
yeah. Well, they got to pay those salaries, my dude.
Yeah, and that's the next piece of it, right? Like you want
Yeah,
superstars. The real downfall and where this came in is when they started paying fucking Brock Lesnar all this stupid amount of money to come back. When they started paying fucking Roman Reigns all this money and he only showed up once a month. That
yeah,
that's the God's honest truth.
yeah, 100%. But they had that choice. But at the end of the day, again, like, what would you have done? Like, if we go back and we think about the whole tribal chief, the bloodline, all that we had, and just be straight up honest, like, how do you think that era of wrestling would have gone if that aspect wasn't there? Like,
Oh,
how do you?
that if so here's the thing about wrestling. Straight up. And this is going to hurt a lot of people's feelings. You have to have a certain amount of athleticism and talent on a standard baseball, football,
Yeah,
hockey, soccer team, right? And again, everyone's talent combined with the correct coaching prowess makes that team or sport. When it comes to wrestling, it is so multi-layered that there is, and just like I said earlier, there is a way for it to survive without Roman Reigns. There is a way for it to survive without Dwayne The Rock Johnson. I will go as far as to say that there's a way for it to survive without a Stone Cold or a Hulk Hogan. It just helps to have those guys. Because if you don't have a Roman Reigns, you don't have to pay his fucking budget. You might have kept Brock Lesnar. You might have been able to hire back Chris Jericho and Cody Rhodes, and there might not be an AEW. You might have been able to keep Dean Ambrose. That's the hard part about wrestling is it's so easy to what if. You can't what if the 1996 Atlanta Braves. They played their ass off. They trained and performed. Again, now sure. Well, what if Chipper Jones would have never signed? What if Greg Maddox? Sure, you could what if that, but it's so much easier to do that in wrestling because there's the actual art, the physicality and athleticism. There's the storytelling. There's the promos. There's the behind the scenes, which we're going to get to see on Netflix. I mean, how many times have we sat and booked the territory? My bloodline story, where I was talking about Naomi and Nia and all that. Me and you think, and again, I fell in, love with my own idea. I think that would have sold a lot more tickets.
yeah,
But if there's a will, there's a way, and that's what wrestling has always done. And
yeah.
I think that me and you and even Chris would have tuned in just as much to
Regardless,
regardless. Just like you're going to sit there and you're going to bitch about WrestleMania tickets, but if WrestleMania goes to New Orleans the year after next, or Dallas, or Atlanta, or San Diego, or LA, somewhere that's convenient for us, especially when CM Punk's getting his title shot, or it finally comes to a head of Cody and The Rock, or we're going to get another one-off Stone Cold appearance, we're going to buy the damn ticket.
yeah. I mean, you're right. At the end of the day, we're going to buy the ticket. So,
We're our own worst enemy.
yeah, I get it.
Again, and this is why John Cena hates you.
Fuck John Cena. Hey man, what's our time looking like?
We're at an hour and 10 minutes, my brother. Well, hour 9 and change about to roll.
We hadn't really talked a lot about the current product, so
we did, but we didn't. What do you want to talk? So, no gimmicks and Brady. What do you want to talk about?
Well, we talked about Cody finally making his appearance. We talked about Bex. We've talked about Alexa. I don't know. Like, I don't know where else to go from here other than I'm ready to see what Money in the Bank holds. Like, I know John Cena is going to be there, but I want to see who the briefcase winners are. And I'm gonna go out on a line and say Tiffany needs to drop the belt. It's time. It's time. And I don't know if it's to Charlotte. I don't know if it's to, Alexa. I don't know who it needs to go to. I think Alexa being the champion would be fucking da-dome. Like, big Alexa fan over here. But I think that title needs to go. I think she probably needs a little work at the end of the day. So, I mean, we'll see. But what do you think?
I like I said earlier, I think we have fully, not just me and you, but a lot of wrestling fans have finally fully come off that high of WrestleMania. And I think we are now about to start, even though we have a few PLEs in between, the major build for SummerSlam. And I think that's going to be the shot in the arm that the product needs. And again, the writing on the wall. Cody's back. Him and Jay are going to be tagging, but we still got Jay and Gunther going back at it. Alexa's back trying to make friends with Charlotte and calling out Tiffy. I have no idea where this faction that Seth is building is going. So I think that here comes the creatures. Hello, creatures. I think that the product is just as healthy as it's ever been. I think that for every doubt we've had these same doubts before, and then we get excited again. I would say if we're gonna have a motherfucking wrestling podcast, we owe it to the product to at least tune in.
Oh no, hands down. Yeah, we're gonna tune in, and I'm gonna keep my.
And if we need to crush them, let's fucking crush them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And fuck WWE and fuck Stephanie McMahon for coming out with their own podcast. They knew No Gimmicks was coming, and they got scared.
They did. And I haven't even listened to any of that because I know it's going to be hot fucking garbage. Straight up garbage. Compared to what we put out, dude, we put out some fucking fire content. Not going to lie. Our content's the best. So, anyway, JT.
What?
I think that it's your turn for an off the
top.
God,
you're such a dick. I've been trying to think of one, but you had me fucking. You and your shenanigans. My off the top rope question is, why do you suck fucking The Rock's dick and then spit his comeback in his mouth, you dirty whore?
Woo, Bubba.
Yeah, we're getting canceled. You wanted back in it. You know what? We're just gonna grab something. Let me reach up as my wife and dogs come out, and they're like, "You're too loud."
Are you too loud? Are you getting in trouble? Because we have more recording to do, sir.
This whole making faces in the background. Hey, quick shout out to my wife. Today is actually our anniversary. May 25th. Oh my God.
Happy anniversary.
Yeah. Brady says happy anniversary.
Love it. That's awesome.
He says thank you. Yeah, so it's my anniversary and I'm watching NASCAR and recording a wrestling podcast. I'm not getting laid tonight. She's doing homework.
That's already
happened. So anyway, trying to come off the top rope, but we're gonna hit the infamous Ric Flair where you're gonna grab me and just throw me in the middle of the ring. Brady, Still don't have a question, so I'm stalling, and I'm just going to keep monologuing as long as I can. What I want to know, and what I think all of our fans are dying to know your thoughts on, is this week's Off the Top Rope question, unofficially sponsored by Igloo WWE Partnership Coolers and Jack Daniels, Jack and Coke, and Gatorade, and something else because I'm still trying to think of a question. If you could put a PLE in any stadium, baseball field, whatever, that you would definitely pay the outrageous price for to go see, where would it be?
Hands down, dude. The ballpark in Arlington, or so sorry, Globe Life Park, or Globe Life Field. That's 3 different stadiums, my dude. So sorry. Globe Life Field is where it needs to be, and here's the reason. The reason for that is it's about 38,000 people. There's not a bad seat in that house, my dude. Like, you can literally sit in the 300 sections and still be right there. Like, it doesn't matter. Like, it's the best park to ever have an event, like, regardless if it's a baseball game, if it's a concert, a wrestling event. Like, dude, it's bam, just
Now, how
right
much
there.
of this is bias?
It's not biased. It's just every single stadium that I've ever been to, I think about, like, man, our ballpark honestly is built for events because of just how.
And that's how most of them are, yeah.
Well, no, shut up. They built it like.
No, you.
They built it up like they didn't do like the dome situation. So
Sorry,
regardless of wherever you,
what I meant by most of them are, I wasn't trying to talk shit. Most modern refresh stadiums and places, they are trying to cater to the ability to do more things other than baseball, football.
Right. You tell me that you go to AT&T Stadium and you sit in the fucking 300s or 400s, and you're looking through a fucking binocular because or watching the big ass screen.
Get the binos out.
Whenever you go to the ballpark in Arlington, you can literally see the facial features of everybody standing on the ground from the 300s because they just, they've made it a more intimate setting.
Sure.
So straight up, like, I would love to, and I'm going to go see the AEW show there. That's going to be the first ever wrestling event there. I can't wait for WWE to book a show. Like, they need to fucking hurry up. That would be a perfect Royal Rumble. That would be a perfect SummerSlam, or, in our next podcast, I'm going to talk about, when we start recording again, I'm going to talk about 2-night events because I'm fucking done. Fucking done. So I'm going to come off hot and heavy and ready to fucking talk on our second episode. So,
okay.
I'm going to ask you the same question. Any stadium, where do you want to go?
So there's some bias on this, but I need you to follow me. I think WWE needs to go to a NASCAR track. So you've been to a concert at Daytona.
I've been to a festival.
A festival, okay. And then MLB announced that we're going to have the Atlanta Braves versus the Cincinnati Reds at Bristol Motor Speedway. So as someone who has worked and visited multiple tracks, what an opportunity to put people in the seating, bring people to the infield, and set up all kinds of bleachers. But on 2-night events, right? They have campground parking. My brother, Texas Motor Speedway in Atlanta and a lot of these other tracks have spaces where you can pull your camper up to the side of. So imagine on these 2-night events, they sell you a rental space and we go rent a fucking camper and we just camp out and cook and grill and party and live from Friday night to Monday morning.
So we're going to even Monday Night Raw, dude, they could do, if you did something like that, you could have SmackDown, you could have the PLE, you could have
a week-long fucking show at a track.
An NXT on a Sunday night or some like Evolution or some bullshit, and then a Monday Night Raw all right there on that track, and then fucking Pie Tuesday morning. That's dude.
That's what I'm saying. There's campgrounds, there's public, campground showers and facilities. And if you go to Texas Motor Speedway, Buc-ee's is across the street, all kinds of restaurants. Like, I think that would be a cool weekend experience. If we're gonna start doing SummerSlam 2 nights, that's the way to fucking do it. Just one week-long tail. And again, like, sure, they might not make concession sales, but can you imagine me and you firing up my fucking smoker at noon to have the ribs and shit ready and then have a brisket on? So when fucking WrestleMania goes off the air, we're chomping on brisket tacos at 1 o'clock in the morning, lit as fuck?
Yes, hands down. But they would 100% make concession sales because whenever they have events like that for the weekend, they sell spots for vendors all over.
Oh yeah, they could easy.
Yeah.
And then and again, right? Like, not only that, make it more festival-esque. So like, I don't think they would sell out a campground for PLE. I really don't. People are going to want hotels and other that. So imagine, like you said, bring in on property access, bring in these other weird shows and shit. Set Pat McAfee up in the fucking corner to do his show all week there. Make it a week long. Take to the next level. Take the week long celebration that is WrestleMania and put it all in one convenient location where DDs aren't fucking needed and you can stay on site.
100%. And you would have 100% of your fan base there. Well, not 100%, but you would have your fan base there all weekend long, and then you know that they're going to do nothing but spend money for you and your attraction. You've got 100,000 people that generally go to WrestleMania every single year, right? And 100,000 people is generally divided amongst 50,000 to 60,000 tonight, 60,000 the next day, whatever.
And then anywhere between 10 to 30,000 at Raw, 10,000 at fucking NXT, another 10 to 30 for the Hall of Fame and SmackDown.
Yeah.
I think that would be cool.
Yeah, it would. I like that. So, but hey, man, I think this is going to wrap up this episode, and I've really had a good time. I'm glad that we're finally back. Finally, we have come back.
Finally, No Gimmicks has come back to the internet.
Hands down. If you're following us on TikTok, watching us live, I super appreciate it. Follow us at No Gimmicks. That's KNOW Gimmicks. And we are going to be live again here in the next maybe 10 to 15 minutes. We're going to record a second, a little bit more off the rails podcast.
How do we get more off the rails of the shit I said?
And follow us, man. YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. You know where we're at. This is JT. I'm Brady. We've got our bestie Phil here. And we're going to catch you down the road.
Holla, holla.